What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB. Once again, big shout out to my dog, Gareth Knight, for coming through, boosting up the coins. So, we got a controversial breaking news for the grey-and-washed masses right now regarding Arslanbek Makhmudov, man. That's what we got to do right now for the masses, for sure. Okay. Listen, man. What you're about to hear, yeah, is alleged, and what I've heard from some people has nothing to do with me, man. Not my opinion, okay? Nothing to do with me. But the math ain't mathing for me. Listen, Dave Allen got his nut punched right the way in for him. He did. He's too soft. He's too 60, man. Too lazy, too soft. Too much of a sparring partner. There's no doubt about that, Dave Allen, yeah? But the Makhmudov we saw, the math ain't mathing, man. Sorry. And yesterday, my reaction video to Allen vs Makhmudov, we were more focused on Dave Allen's performance. But what we just saw Makhmudov done is almost unparalleled, to tell the truth. Yeah? Makhmudov threw 826 punches as a heavyweight. That averages, what's 12 sevens? 70 punches a round, isn't it? Yeah. That's just shy. 69 punches a round, people, on average. 69 punches a round. Let's call it 70. 70 would be 840. He threw 826 shots, right? Now, what does that mean? What's your point, YB? This big stiff Nitandaral, yeah? He is renowned for puffing. That's a fact. He's renowned for puffing. That is what he does. Before this fight, if you told me what Makhmudov's strengths were, I'd tell you his strengths are he's big, he's stiff, and if you let him whack you, he'll knock you out. And he got no gas, right? Those would be the four things. Come on. Big, stiff. He'll whack you really hard if you stand there like a big stiff idiot yourself. And you got no gas. All of a sudden, oh, AB, you're just bitter because you got bumped. Yeah? Oh, you're bitter because nothing to do with that. These numbers you're about to see don't make no sense. I thought about that. 70 punches around. Usyk the cruiserweight who's full of gas, right? Usyk's renowned for gas. That's a fact. He's renowned for gas, right? He's a cruiserweight. He probably was like heavyweight when he was 14. In fact, Sean Porter punched him up at 165 in the amateurs. So you got a super middleweight who's renowned for cardio, right? Let's do the maths now. You've just seen the average from Makhmudov. 70 punches around, right? I thought, let's put it in context. So let's look at Usyk versus Chisora, for example. That's the best one I could think of. Why? Chisora's coming at you, similar to Dave. Different. I think, just quickly on a side mission here, I think what Dave does, or needs to do, how Chisora's more effective than Dave. Why? Chisora will get hit, but Dave will get hit. The difference is Chisora will let his hands go. He'll come wading in and then bosh you on the way in. Sometimes it's wide, sometimes it's messy. Most shots don't land clean. But he gave Usyk, Chisora gave Usyk things to think about. Dave did not. Yeah, Dave was too safety first, and some cat in the comments made a good point. They said that during Dave's rise through professional boxing, he was the archetypal sparring partner. Yeah, he was a heavy who's brought in. So AJ, and this is what Dave said himself, so AJ and Fury and whoever else can have a good go on him. Right? That's what it was. He was like the man who hang with Diddy. You know them rappers you never heard of, never went nowhere, but they still got popped on the regular. It's them man there, right? How many man do you think are out there living right now who were promised a rap career and they was taking it for God knows how long and didn't get nothing for it? That's like Dave. Dave's getting something for it, but you get the point I'm making, right? Dave said it himself. AJ would fly me in, didn't even pay me half the time. Punch me up and then send me back on my way with a sore head. That's what he said. Anyway, let's not talk about Dave. Let's focus on Makhmudov, because listen, I'm not alleging nothing. This is what some people may have told me at one point in time. Or they may not have, I don't know. It's one of them. So 70 punches around. Makhmudov in round 2 is throwing 90 shots. Now, you can argue, well, YB, Makhmudov, Dave was a heavy bag, and that's true. When someone's plodding at you and not offering nothing back, that does enable you to throw more. But the question is, where's his gas come from? Yeah? Where does that gas come from? You can argue, well, he's super relaxed, YB, and 90 punches in round 2. And after round 2, I was saying, yeah, he's finished now. He can't sustain this. Somehow, the guy with big cardio problems throws 90 in round 2 and then goes on to average 70 from that point, more or less. The next round, 71, then 61, then 68, then 70, then 77 in round 7. He throws 81 in round 12. What's his name? Benjamin Button having the strongest... His second strongest round was round 12. It's like diabolical, no? That don't seem odd to you, man. A cat who's never done 12 before. Always puffing. That was his MO. He'll be puffing. Yeah? No doubt about that. Anyway, let's set the scene for some context now. Now, listen, I'm not saying he's on no conventional gear, to be fair. He ain't popped. Right? Although I did find it a bit odd that AJ was hanging at the back of him. AJ was like, yeah. AJ was, apparently, Makhmudov said AJ was texting him saying, yeah, if you beat Dave, I'll give you the fight. Which I found odd. Why wouldn't AJ be texting Dave Allen? Or is AJ fell out with... Well, we know, listen, there's a lot that's been alleged, man. Is it one of them? Because Dave Allen at this point was getting a lot of hype from Eggy. He was getting a lot of attention from Eggy. Have AJ and Eggy fell out? We know, allegedly. AJ was hanging at the back of Sky, right? Eggy got caught playing around with the Saudi brass. Sky found out, and she got blacked by Johnston. That's what the word on the street is. Some people have said, not my opinion, right? So maybe AJ saying, yeah, I don't want Dave. Dave's not getting this shot. Yeah, Eggy, he trying to make Eggy down bad, and that's what happened. So I don't know what type of gear he may or may not have been on yet, but there was some gear there, man. So come on, man, big stiff idiot. And he was the shots he was throwing, they weren't playful. Sometimes you'll see people like Crawford. Look at Crawford and Canelo. Some of the or towards the end, Crawford would be like, he'd be touching and just them kind of shots. You get it, but Makhmudov was throwing his lever. He's not the quickest, but he wasn't touching, right? He wasn't like touch. Every shot was with pretty good intentions. How has he gone from a... You'll see it now. I'll show you now, actually. The screen big enough for you, man. Yeah, you can see it still. So against Caballero, Makhmudov averages, in the first 3 rounds, he averages 30 punches. Right? 32 or something like that. Now against Fiorello, another good example. Against Fiorello, he averages... Even the first 6 before he gets stopped, he's averaging 25. How does a fighter go? Now you can argue, well, Caballero's a better fighter than Makhmudov. Dave Allen, sorry. Or Vianello's trickier to hit, which is true. That's a fair statement to make. But going from 25 average to 70 and having your best round at 90, that smells like Lance Armstrong, allegedly, to me. When Lance Armstrong was riding his bicycles, yeah, he'd be getting stronger. I've saw the documentary on it. Lance Armstrong said, I was on so much gear, yeah, that everyone else was puffed out, and I'd just be coming on strong, taking it to them. That's what, come on, man. Makhmudov, the king of gas now. Makhmudov is the preeminent volume and cardio guy now. He didn't fall apart. Like, how that make sense? Now, again, you can rationalise this by saying, well, Dave won't throw no punches, but I mean, that could be the bottom line, right? But it's a shame, really. I did try to look. The better example would have been Makhmudov fought Wack, big stiff idiot, and Makhmudov fought Takam, not so stiff. Takam's more like a hybrid between Dave Allen and Derek Chisora, but them punch stats weren't available. They'd be more interesting. But from the 2 we've got here, maybe they're bad examples, but he's going 25. Let's not forget, people, he was puffed. Listen, I guess he was getting hit back when he by Caballero. He's averaging 25-30 with Vianello. And he was puffed there. That's what I'm saying. He was puffed. Completely puffed in them 2 fights. And even Takam. I couldn't be asked to go back and count them, but he wasn't that active with Takam. He was puffed. Makhmudov was puffed. Takam was having his best round in the 8th, I think, and got knocked down. But until that point, he was all over Makhmudov. Now, maybe Takam was throwing more than Dave, which is listen, to throw as little as Dave, it's almost unparalleled. He makes Canelo look like, I don't know, who throws a lot of punches. He made Canelo look like a lightweight with heaps of volume. But still, something's off for me. He couldn't listen. Even if Dave did put it on him a few times, and he was applying foot pressure. Now, you can argue, well, Johnny Fisher's league's above Makhmudov, but foot pressure, especially for a front foot fighter. Makhmudov he's not an inside fighter, but he's a medium, I'm on top of your fighter. Normally, look at Wilder. The minute you put him on the back foot, he's got no ideas and he's puffed. Right? Normally, that foot pressure from Dave should have counted for something. Yes, we know you still have to throw your hands, but foot pressure, for a guy who's used to coming forward, normally, it takes them out of their comfort zone. They're having to work how they don't normally do, i.e. on the back foot. And it counts for something. They don't normally get stronger. Name me imagine someone was able to push Beterbiev onto his back foot. There's no way he's comfortable and cruising and throwing the most punches of his career. Albeit Dave didn't throw enough. That is also true, but still. Let's follow this narrative. And if if it turns out he threw 30 odd punches against Takam and 30 odd against Wack, then you know he's on the gear. I couldn't find it nowhere. There was no Moody compy box. But listen, I'm not saying he's on clearly he hasn't popped yet, right? But still, I think he's off the kind of, I don't know, prehistoric. He's probably got his ancestors probably left some prehistoric top pucker bits, right? Like Trembolone, Nefanderate. Trembolone, Nefanderate. So it's not going to, these modern tests ain't going to pick it up. It's from a different time in history. They was cooking up their things there. I think he pinned some of the Trembolone, Nefanderate. These new tests ain't picked nothing up, right? Because some of them, it ain't making no sense to me, man. Sorry, he ain't making no sense. It just don't. Unless, I don't know. It is true that I'm not sure if he's always been trained by these guys, but Makhmudov was trained by Beterbiev's trainer. For this fight at least. So you could maybe, I don't know, has he always been with that cat? Beterbiev's trainer? If he hasn't, then that could possibly be the change, but it's the volume for me. Right? I've got another example here. Since you mentioned Beterbiev. Here. So we've got Beterbiev and Bivol. These are light heavyweights. Beterbiev threw, and this is the first fight. Bear in mind, the first fight? What fight is it? Oh, it's the rematch. I don't want the rematch. What is wrong with you? I just said I don't want the Moody rematch, man. I want the first fight. But let's take the rematch. That's what I got right now. The rematch, Beterbiev threw 688. So you got a light heavyweight throwing less shots. Done a heavyweight? Oh, but Bivol's tricky. Let's have a look at Beterbiev versus Callum Smith. To put it into perspective, right? Beterbiev had nothing coming back from Callum Smith. So really, as a light heavyweight, Beterbiev should have been throwing more than 70 punches around. Right? And again, he's always been the gas man. He's never had massive question marks around his gas tank. Oops. Busted. So, the fight got stopped in the 7th, so we'll count the first 6 rounds. Well, Beterbiev was putting belt to arse, to be fair. Over 6 rounds, Beterbiev threw 4... Right there. No, it's not that much, actually. What am I reading that for? What is this? Smith? It's not... What was I reading? I'm going bug-eyed here. No, Beterbiev versus Smith. I think that's a fair comparison to Dave Allen and Makhmudov. Because Smith weren't doing nothing. Whether the levels are higher, it's irrelevant. They were equally higher. Beterbiev's that good. And Callum Smith was that useless. So yeah, look at this here, look. We all appreciate, right, how much Beterbiev was all over Callum Smith, had no respect for him, right? How many shots was Beterbiev throwing? Beterbiev threw 54 in the first round, 50 in the second round, 83, and then 100, and then 53, and then 69 in round 6. So that probably averages what? Oh, I have to put it in a calculator now to get it accurate for you, man. Let's see if... And that was over 6. Makhmudov averaged 70 punches a round over 12, and he's never had no gas, right? But he's always had gas. How do people go from not having no gas? That tends to be how old Makhmudov? 35. When you're 30 odd, you don't suddenly have heaps of gas to burn and you're putting out 90 punches as a heavyweight in round 12. I don't care how useless Dave was. He wasn't completely useless. He wasn't like journeyman useless. Journeyman useless is when they've got their hands up and they're backing up and you are literally just playing with them. You can have a rest when you want. To be fair to Dave, Makhmudov couldn't rest when he wanted to. Dave was always on the front foot. It's hard. I don't care what no one says. Unless your name's Arslanbek and you're used to people coming at you, that's one thing. But when you're used to coming forward, it's very hard fighting off the back foot and being pressed. Makhmudov was an amateur phenomenon. Okay. If that's what you might want to run with, let's do the maths right here quick. 54. Add 50. Add 83. Add 100. And 4. Add 53. Add 69. Okay, divide by 6. Oops. Artur Beterbiev averaged 68.8 punches per round against Callum Smith in a 6-round fight at light heavyweight for a man who's renowned for gas. And it was a heavyback session. So that really shows you the limit of what you can do for a heavyback session, what you saw there with Callum Smith and Beterbiev. How does Mr. L no gas average more? Makhmudov was 69 something. How can a heavyweight stiff idiot with no gas average more than Beterbiev? And that's Beterbiev over 6. Maybe he most likely would have gassed, or he would have dropped off a little bit. 70 is a phenomenal amount of punches to average. I don't care who you are and who you're fighting. Right? It's a phenomenal amount of punches to put out there. And Makhmudov has his best round in round 12 as well. Let's have a look at some more comparisons. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I picked out... Where was it? And that's the thing as well. A lot of Beterbiev's shots, like, you know when you see Beterbiev chasing Bivol around the ring, a lot of them shots, punches thrown, he's kind of pouring his jab out. He's trying to herd you with his jab. A lot of them jabs from Beterbiev don't land. He kind of skips his feet in, he goes jab, jab, / feint, and he herds you to the corner, then works. So a lot of them shots are like that. He's not... Of course he throws heavy shots, but a lot of them, the herding motion he uses, are counted as punches. Makhmudov weren't doing that. He weren't really hurting. He was just dinging, right? He was dinging the whole night. I'm sorry. Something seems a bit spooky to me. Another example of... Wait a minute. I pulled a fight up. What was it? Oh, okay, now I was going to get... I'm trying to get AJ versus Dominic Brazil up as another example. Why? That fight went 7 rounds. 7-ish rounds. So let's count it to 6. Punches landed. I don't want to see punches landed. AJ threw a total of 368 over the 7 rounds. So he's probably averaging 60 punches. And that was a heavy bag session. Over 6. People, I'm sorry. Something smells to me on this one. You got Usyk versus Chisora. Where are we? I pulled up somewhere. Here we go. Usyk versus Chisora. Usyk over 12 rounds threw 674 punches. So he threw about 5 less than Makhmudov per round. And this is a light heavyweight, 168 pounder soaking wet. Pumped up to heavyweight, who's renowned for gas. That's all he's got is gas. Right, all Usyk has is gas. Can't punch for toffee, but he's full of gas. How is Makhmudov doing that? Sorry, I don't know, man. I mean, listen, fair play. I'm not trying to take nothing away from him, man. But this is an interesting scientific discussion to have. That's what we're doing here. I ain't accusing no one of nothing, but come on. A man who is renowned... Makhmudov ain't no second wind type dude. Right? Or you can argue, well, YB, he was just that comfortable. Well, why weren't he that comfortable against Carlos Takam? You have to believe that Dave was that ineffective, and he was pretty ineffective. But it's not like Makhmudov had nothing to think about. There's a few times Dave had him on the ropes and was working him. That mental pressure and that foot pressure from Dave normally weighs on people, particularly inexperienced back foot fighters, which Makhmudov is. I've never seen him fight that before. Never seen him box. Now, is it a case of, well, he's just suddenly learnt how to box and he's suddenly grown a gas tank? But yeah, listen, it is true that Dave, man. Dave, it's one or the other, isn't it? It's either the Fanderalian gear that don't go hot on these new tests, these new age tests, get so old. The compounds they're using from a different star system, right? When Makhmudov and his lineage were knocking around a few million years ago, stardust that rained down on the earth weren't the same periodic table elements that we observe today. So when they're testing today's gear, oh, you popped, you got this. They ain't got the Trembolone Nefanderate. They don't even know, they can't even fathom that. It's not on the periodic table because it comes from a different star system. That's how long ago Makhmudov's man was knocking around. So he's obviously gone to the cave before the fight, allegedly, and he's found their little... You've seen the film Prometheus, man. I don't have to... Come on. Yeah? I can bring you, man, to water. I can't make you drink it. You've seen the film Prometheus. There's a lot of these little things, right? These little, what they call them, capsules or whatever. Makhmudov found it went back to the cave, yeah? His origin cave. Picked out the little tube thing, popped the pin in there, drew it up and bosh, and that's what it is, man. I don't give a what you man talking about. That's what I don't give a come on now. Come on, tell me the math's mathing. YB actually, Makhmudov now, he outpunches Usyk, the king of cardio. The man who never had no gas in his life. He turned up, he got full of gas. 90 punches in round. I don't care if you're hitting a heavy bag, man. Sorry. It doesn't work like that. I don't care if you're hitting a heavy bag. You're still knackering. Especially when Makhmudov threw 90 in round 2. Normally, it's a bit like Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron. When you put a lot of effort into the early rounds, most people pay in the back end. Makhmudov didn't pay. Makhmudov was... Listen, man. All I'm saying is I see shades of Lance Armstrong, allegedly. That's what it gave me. It's like, whoa. And Dave himself said, and this is another anecdotal, circumstantial piece of information. Dave himself said, after 4 rounds, I was comfortable. He said, yeah, I probably lost them first 4, but any minute now, his power's going to drop off, right? Any minute now, his power's going to drop off. Dave then goes on to say, it never dropped off. These things here, those are the archetypal signs of Trembolone Nefanderate. Yeah? Nefanderate 3000. That's what it is. Come on, man. How can you... And I noticed it as well. That's why I was gassed. I was clicking buttons, yeah, saying, yeah, man, we're going to smoke this big stiff idiot. Expecting the fall-off to come. He just kept going and going and going. And going and going. There was no... In most heavyweight fights, to tell the truth, in most heavyweight fights, even in Usyk fights, you do see a dip. You see when they're fresh, and you see them dip, and you see when it starts getting hard. Usyk's the best of having a second wind, but even then, he doesn't have a second wind and then get better. And Usyk doesn't end as good as he started. He just ends better than most people end. Does that make sense? He's still slower and not as sharp, naturally. Makhmudov, really, throughout the fight, I didn't see no gleaming signs that he was deteriorating. But listen, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe some people who have speculated he's on the moody Trembolone Nefanderate are wrong, and it's just Dave not putting no work in and not breaking him down. But I'm trying to think, when have I seen a fighter just back up all night? Yeah, if his name was Arslanbek Makhmudov, you'd get it. Well, obviously he's not going to get tired, because that's what he does. It's one of them ones. But yeah, listen, if I'm wrong, fair play to Makhmudov, the king of cardio. Mr. 90 punches in round 12. Fair play to him, man. Mr. Full of Beans. Because that is a fair play to his coaches as well. Yeah? Because if they ain't the Moody Gear, he's turned it around. He's a volume puncher now. A heavy volume puncher. Just licking off shots. What? It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's really unbelievable. Just dinging them, wasn't it? Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe. Obviously, man, look at this floss here. Look, you see man's new floss as well. See man's new floss, man. Listen, man, I gotta be real with you, man. I'm tired of being broke, man. I'm tired of being broke. Look at this bust down Talmud right here, man. I'm tired of being broke, man. I got to get on. I'm too old. I'm too old to be broke, folks. That's the truth, man. I'm way too old to be broke, man. What you want to be? You man want to be on here at 40 still, man. Nickel and diamond. Is that what you want me to be doing? Do you man want me to be on here at 40? Nickel and diamond out here. You having a laugh, man? It can't be me, bro. It can't be me, man. Listen, man, I'm headed to Babylon. Send me that Talmud check, man. That's what you need to do, man. I ain't playing with your Arsenal. I got the bust down Talmud. That's what I got. That's what I'm flossing right now. Listen, man, these YouTube numbers got to go up, man. These YouTube numbers got to go up, man. Yeah, listen. What I'm doing right now, it's not a good look at 30. Never mind. I can't be here on 40, man. Nickel and diamond still. That's what I can't be doing, man. You best, but I gotta get on. I gotta get on, man. Oh, check out my Patreon as well. The YB Roast, Andrew Tate Steen. Yeah, we got bare content on there. Bare man's on there. Pause. Ain't gonna listen. I could hold you, man, and say, yeah. There's a few things on there. There's no thing, man. It's bare man, but still, yeah. But still, the content's fire and X-rated. That's what you best believe, Johnny.